National Football League.
His guys got the season started on the right foot, a home victory in the season opener. On the other sideline, it is the Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell. His guys, on the other hand, couldn't pull one out last week in the opener, so they're looking for their first. The punter, Bradley Pinion, will handle kickoff duties. And off we go here on Sunday Night Primetime. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. So the Vikings come out. Technically, it is year 2 for J.J. McCarthy. But really, it's year 1. Did not play at all in the regular season last year with the knee injury. The former Michigan Wolverine, the quarterback of the Vikings.
Mike, this is a big boy game. And sometimes the unfortunate truth is your performance was the difference between a win and a loss. And I think if you asked him, he'd be the first one to say, listen, my performance last week was not good enough. I have to make better decisions. I have to be more careful with the ball and where I put it. So his ability to improve from last week's game, both in production and decision-making, is probably the #1 storyline to follow heading into today's game.
They'll fake the give, and now it's McCarthy. That's caught by Jefferson on the right side. We'll go 3 tight ends here on 1st and 10.
And the Vikings first down.
On play action, here's McCarthy. And he'll just get rid of this. Smart play to throw it away, and that'll set up 2nd down.
They just have to be more creative with their route concepts, Mike. I mean, there's nobody open, nowhere to go with the ball, and quarterback's just forced to throw that one away.
Oh, and this one's going to wind up incomplete. That's one you'd think he'd be able to corral. He can't find the handle, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down.
3rd down and 10.
To throw once more, here's McCarthy. That one into the hands of Jefferson. And a good job here defensively. They did not let him get away. He's well short of the 1st down mark. So on 4th down, out comes Ryan Wright to punt for Minnesota. Ray McLeod deep to return. And no chance of a run back here. This one's going to sail out of bounds. The Falcons come out, and they are led by Michael Penix, the 2nd-year quarterback out of Washington. Greg taking over late last year and winning the job as the Atlanta starting quarterback.
One thing about this guy that's pretty clear, Mike, is there's not a whole lot that rattles him. He does a good job staying even keel. You don't know if he just threw a pick or if he just led his team to a touchdown drive. And that was kind of the case last week. He didn't let it snowball into a bunch of back-breaking mistakes. He just shook it off and kept playing. Now, if he keep that mentality as the rest of the year unfolds, and if he does, he's going to give his team a chance every single week.
You get a look there at his numbers on the ground from a week ago.
At the Vikings 40-yard line.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd down and 7. Play action. It's Penix. A lot of chances on that one. It was bouncing around, but it falls incomplete. 3rd and 7.
It's 3rd down and 7 yards to go.
From the gun, here is Penix. The pressure too much, and he goes down.
And These are the type of splash plays that can have an impact, especially as the game goes on. So offensive line has to do a better job to make sure that they have this protection shored up and that this isn't a sign of things to come.
So on fourth down, the Falcons bring on Bradley Pinion to punt. And how about that play on special teams? Perfectly done. It checks up right at the 1-yard line. The Vikings offense going to take over now for the second time. Greg, it's one of those weird feelings you build all year for the opener. You play a tight game and lose. It changes. Oh, he gets swarmed under. They need him in the end zone. It is a safety. Well, that's certainly a way to break a 0-0 ball game. A safety, first points on the board, and the lead is now the bizarre score of 2-0.
Well, Mike, I don't think anybody had that on their bingo card. I mean, for a safety to be the first points of a ball game is pretty uncommon, but a great job there by the defense, capitalizing on the field position and coming away with the 2.
And he'll be taken down as the next drive will begin there. Looks like we have an injured Falcon on this play. The training staff going to look and will step out for a moment. Boy, some bulk in the formation on that right side here for 1st and 10. They're going to go play action with Penix. And he'll just get rid of this. Smart play to throw it away. And that'll set up 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Penix now off the bootleg. Gets it away quickly, and it's caught. He'll get about 6 before he's taken down.
It's a gain of 6. And it's...
Oh, maybe a free play as he'll look to throw it. This is incomplete, but there is a flag. It is back at the line of scrimmage, and this could be a 1st down. Back to throw. Here's Penix. Throwing left side there, but it is incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Incomplete.
Pitts is the man in motion. On 2nd down, it's a run with Robinson. And a nice run there as he surges forward. A gain of 8 and sets up 3rd down.
A gain of 8 yards. And it's 3rd down.
On 3rd and 1, here's Penix. That is incomplete. Great work to get in there, make things difficult defensively, and it sets up 4th down. After that incomplete pass, we have a player shaken up. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. Pitts is the man in motion. They'll try and throw it with Penix. That is incomplete. Oh, they elected to throw on 4th and short. It does not work out. They turn it over on down. The Vikings offense ready to take over possession of the football. Greg, they say flush a game after you lose, right? But when you built up all year for the opener and you get blown out, is it even harder to flush for players?
Well, certainly that's the question, Mike, and regardless of how much the coach stands up there and you try to say, hey, it's a new week, we've got to move forward, and certainly that's the case in the NFL. If you let bad losses linger, you're going to find yourself in a bigger hole. So the problem is when you spend all week and you spend all season saying, okay, this is week 1, we're going to get off to a great start, and you lay an egg and you're non-competitive, the last thing you want in the NFL, Mike, is for doubt to set in. So we're going to find out pretty quickly here in this one. Was last week just 1 out of 17 and they're going to move on, or is this going to be signs of things to come as the rest of this season unfolds?
Play action now. It's McCarthy. Open man downfield. It's Addison. And he is short of the goal line, but they are in business at the 1-yard line.
That's good for a Vikings 1st down. first and goal at the 1-yard line.
Jones is in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A lot of big bodies down there, but at the end of the day, the one that mattered, the one with the ball, finds the end zone for the touchdown.
Yeah, once that back gets the ball, Mike, he's just looking for a little crack of daylight, and he's thinking, I'm going to run into it and just hope I come out the other side. And in this case, the other side's the end zone, and they get 6.
Good with the extra point. And the Vikings will up the lead to 5. Breaker out now, following the touchdown as he kicks this one away. A safe kick taken at the 5. They'll get this up past the 20. That's where they'll set up shop. The Falcons offense ready to come back out for this next possession. So, Greg, this offense comes on the road here in week 2. Look, road games are so hard in the NFL, but it's nice to hit the road coming off a win at home.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's amazing how winning creates more winning. It kind of has an ability to kind of build on its stuff. It's a snowball effect. So when you're winning, you're feeling good, everything works. And all of a sudden, you start losing, and you start questioning everything about your approach. So the key in the NFL is win or lose, you're on to the next game. And it's the team's ability to start fresh every single week, regardless of the previous week's outcome. Those are the teams that find themselves in position of the playoffs down the stretch.
And he will not get away. Terrific open field tackle. Gets him down behind the line.
I think this play is a direct result of his film study. He knew exactly where that ball was going before the play was snapped, and that play recognition, man, it separates a lot of guys in this league.
And this drive is over before it can start. It's swallowed up to force 4th down.
The best thing they did here, Mike, is keep their rush lane integrity. What that means is you have to rush the quarterback as a unit. Keep him in the pocket. Keep him on that X. And when you do, man, he becomes a sit and duck for this pass rush.
And good coverage by Hutchie. They stop him before he can get any return cranked up.
At their own 48-yard line.
On 1st down, here's McCarthy. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete. They'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's a throw for McCarthy. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They got him.
What really stood out about that last play is the job the quarterback did keeping his eyes downfield despite the pocket collapsing around him. He was able to shake off that first guy, but by the time he did, allowed the rest of that rush to get home, and they were able to clean things up.
On 3rd and long, here's McCarthy. There's Jefferson. He's going to be out of bounds. He is well shy of where he needed to get to. It'll bring up 4th down. And this one's going to land out of bounds as they'll mark it inside the 20. Here comes the Atlanta offense now. They get set to take over once more. They'll start it here with a 1st and 10. 3 tight ends in the game to start the drive. They'll start on the ground with Robinson. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's about all. Here's 2nd and 9.
No gain on the play.
They'll throw. It's Penix. Now a screen going to be set up for Robinson.
Just a little slow developing on that screenplay there. It was pretty obvious to the entire defense exactly what was going on. Nobody was thinking pass. Nobody was getting back into their drops, and just nowhere for that back to go.
In trouble, and down he goes. Javon Hargraves. He gets into drop him for his 1st sack of the young season.
We're starting to see in these passing situations, Mike, this defensive line is starting to have their way against this group up front, because right now, Their pass protection is breaking down, and his quarterback's paying the price for it.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll hit this from just outside of his own goal line. Looks like he may have had a seam for a moment, but is taken down after a solid return. Now, following the punt return, we have an injured player on the field. As the athletic training staff looks at him, we'll step away for a moment. On the give, it's Jones. Trying to find some place to go, but nothing developing. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 1. Last play went the wrong way. It sets up 2nd and long. It's 2nd down and 12. Here comes the screen to Jones. And he's out of bounds, down inside the 35. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10.
First down.
McCarthy going to tap this one forward to his receiver. And that didn't fool anyone. They'll chase him down behind the line of scrimmage.
Jones. Brought down back at the 36-yard line.
So we are through 1 here on Sunday Night Primetime. 7-2 is our score. More from the Twin Cities in a moment. Vikings football as we begin this 2nd quarter. They've got it 2nd down and 12 to go. From the gun, here's McCarthy. Nowhere to go. He's going to be taken down.
We spent so much time talking about quarterbacks and the special plays that they can make. And, of course, that's a big part of playing quarterback in the NFL. But also, can you avoid the bad plays? Do you know when the fight is over and live to play another down? Don't take that sack. Throw the ball away, get back out there on 3rd down, and give yourself a chance.
And they're going to get him a 2nd time. He goes down again.
And he did everything he could. He's trying to keep this play alive, but there's just too much penetration from this defensive front, and they end up taking him down behind the line.
Here's Ryan Wright now, as he is on to punt for Minnesota. This is going to get out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. The Falcons offense getting things in order as they trot out for this next possession. So, Greg, let's pull back big picture and talk NFC South for a second, a division that you know so well. We've got teams that have been to the Super Bowl in the last 15 or so years out of this division. Yet people overlook it at times. And maybe they've overlooked how good Tampa's been the last 4 years, too.
Well, it's funny, Mike, you think it wasn't very long ago that the NFC South was the toughest division in football. I mean, you mentioned Super Bowl teams. Tampa Bay won one recently with Brady. And then Atlanta, they make a Super Bowl with Matt Ryan. And New Orleans, and obviously the success they had with Drew Brees. And Carolina, we played in a Super Bowl. I mean, this was a division you didn't want to play. Now, they've all fallen on their resets. New coaches, new quarterbacks. Tampa Bay has done the best job weathering and taking advantage of their rebuild and their next era in the midst of a down division. So, big reason they've won 4 in a row. Can Atlanta, can Carolina, New Orleans, can they catch up? Because right now, like you said, Tampa Bay has been the dominant team in this division.
Greg, you lived it, you know it. While these may not be the biggest markets in the league, the rivalries amongst these teams really elevates what you see when you watch the NFC South go head-to-head, too.
Yeah, and over the years, there's been some major games played between Hall of Fame quarterbacks in uniform for all these teams. So it has a lot more history and a lot more, kind of relevance than maybe it feels as of late. The markets are a little smaller. The teams have been down. They might not have the premier star players that they had in past generations. So they've got to continue to rebuild these rosters, continue to have these new coaches find their footing. And, we might be a year or two away from the NFC South getting back to what it used to be.
Here's a toss left side for Robinson. Nothing doing there. He'll go down behind the line.
I'd like to see that running back be a little bit more decisive with his cut, Mike. You can see he was a little hesitant, and once you're late making that decision, you just kind of get strong laterally. Great job there by the defense, and he has no choice but to take that loss.
3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Penix. That's to Mooney, complete right side. Here's the punter now. He's on to punt it for the 4th time tonight. And we will not have a return here. This one angled out of bounds. Out comes the Minnesota offensive unit as they get set to take over. Greg, the NFC North has become such a fun division over the last few years. Think of the geography and the legacy. It's always been, because of the proximity, a fun division with great rivalries. But with almost all the teams playing well, save the Bears over the last few years, it's almost heightened the awareness of how good the NFC North can be.
Yeah, I think going into the season, I'd make the argument it's the best division in football. And I think when the worst team, I know they were 5-12 with the Chicago Bears, but to me, there's a lot of wins built in there. Now they bring in Ben Johnson, they continue to build around Caleb Williams. That feels like there's a lot more wins built into that 5-12 record if they just get themselves organized and get some pieces around Caleb Williams.
The pressure gets there, and down he goes back inside the 20-yard line.
These pass rushers, they love these situations where they can just pin their ears back and go after the quarterback. They knew they had a chance to put an end to this drive, and they didn't let it go to waste.
Here's their punter now, as this drive quickly stalled out, so he's on to punt it away. The Falcons offense getting their final instruction before heading back onto the field. Well, Greg, as the season starts, really the season never ends. Think back to the schedule release, the draft has become this multi-day huge event. Green Bay crushed it with all the folks around the stadium in Lambeau, and some big names will be tied to that draft forever. A couple of the rookies that you've watched that are just sticking out in your mind, interested to see how they fit in the league as this season gets going.
Obviously, so much attention around the quarterback position. Cam Ward goes #1, and then obviously with Shador and all the conversations around that as the draft unfolded. But I think a guy that's going to be fun to watch when you talk about fit, Mike, I think you look at Ashton Genty. He gets drafted by Vegas. He's now with the Raiders. Pete Carroll. It kind of has the feel of, is he his Marshawn Lynch? Is he the bell cow back under center, Geno Smith, play action, set up that run game, play good defense? This feels like the early path Pete Carroll took when he took over in Seattle and turned them into a Super Bowl champion. So I'm not saying Genty's Marshawn Lynch, but he certainly feels like that's the fit the Raiders were going for when they took him with their first-round pick.
Hey, let me ask you about Travis Hunter. Of course, the Heisman winner, Colorado, great play both sides of the ball as a receiver and a corner. You know, Greg, it's hard to come in this league and play well on one side of the ball. Is it realistic to think you may see him on both offense and defense?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, and I think to start, you have to say, okay, let's hang our hat on something. And I think when you look at the league, where
the pass rush gets home, and he goes down. Dallas Turner in there to bring him down. And that's his first sack of the year. Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. Out of the shotgun, it's Penix. The 2nd down throw is incomplete. 3rd and long. Pitts is the man in motion. Now Penix on 3rd and long. Looking down the field, but that ball's incomplete. Drake London was the intended receiver there. And that'll set up 4th down.
For the Falcons field goal, a 50-yard attempt.
Whose kick is good. And the Falcons will cut the deficit down to 2.
And I can tell you firsthand, Mike, when you find yourself trailing in a game, you don't feel very good about coming away with field goals. But in this case, it does get them a little bit closer and cut into this deficit.
He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense ready to get back at him. Well, Greg, it will be a very busy stretch for the passports. A lot of international games to look forward to. 7-0 outside the U.S. Chiefs and Chargers last week in Sao Paulo. Great ones to follow. Vikings and Steelers in Dublin. Vikings in London playing the Browns the very next week. Broncos and Jets. Rams and Jags will also play in London week 6 and 7. The Falcons and the Colts are going to be in Germany in week 10. And then the Commanders and Dolphins wrap up the international slate. That's in Madrid week 11. Greg, this has been such an additive part to the NFL season. Oh, nowhere to go. He is taken down.
This defense, they just continue to put in a great night's work. I mean, Mike, you think whether it's been blitz schemes, stunts, whatever you name it, this offensive line has had its hands full. They have allowed their quarterback to be hit way too many times.
Working out of the shotgun, it is McCarthy. Taking off, he'll try to get there. And he'll get into the slide here, but he's going to be well short of the first down. Now a timeout, Atlanta. That's their first. On comes the punter now, as he'll come on to kick for the 5th time here tonight. A fair catch called and taken right at the 30-yard line. Now the lefty Penix on first down. He'll step up and run. Can't beat those legs. 13-yard pickup. A scramble leads to a first down.
First down, Atlanta.
On 1st and 10, it's Penix. Toward the left side, he gets back to Mooney. And he'll be ridden out of bounds after a gain of 6.
Just short of midfield.
On 2nd down, here's Penix. And he's going to go down yet again. He has been under fire all game long.
A loss of 8 yards. It's 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Penix. That one is caught by Mooney. And he'll be stopped short of the first down, and that will necessitate a call to the punt team. It's 4th down. The Falcons getting their punter out there. The Vikings offense going to take over here in the final minute of this first half. They've got the lead, and they'll set forth trying to build on it. They're going to do that with excellent field position. From the 39, here's a 1st and 10. To throw is McCarthy. Over the middle, that's the tight end Hopkinson. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line.
That last completion is going to go a long way towards at least finishing this 2-minute drive, Mike, with some points. You're already in field goal range, so now the idea is continue to work the clock down, take a couple shots at the end zone. You want to get points, ideally a touchdown, but either way, you have the ball last before the end of the second quarter.
A gain of 14 yards. That's another.
McCarthy now to throw on 1st and 10. That pass pinballing around, and it ends up in the hands of the receiver. Wow.
A gain of 4 brings up 2nd down at the 10-yard line.
McCarthy going to look to throw again. And that one is complete along the boundary. Good job of getting those feet in back.
Josh Oliver. That's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 1.
On 3rd and a yard, it's McCarthy. And this ball incomplete on 3rd down.
Teams practice these situations all week long, Mike. Down here in the tight red zone, you find yourself inside the 10-yard line. You're thinking, we've got to come away with a touchdown. Well, after that 3rd down incomplete, it's going to be real interesting to see how they approach this 4th down after failing on 3rd.
Riker's kick is good. And And the Vikings tack on 3 more, extending the lead here late in the first half. Record at the field goal with a moment to go. Back out now to kick this one away. From the 6, here comes a return. Ooh! And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Falcons offense going to take over just before the half. They'll begin with 1st and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. How about that? Quick feet there. Made a man miss. On his way to a nice pickup of 7.
A 7-yard pickup. Brings up
on second down, Penix. Forced out wide. And he's into a slide to avoid the contact. Does so successfully. And it's a first down.
First down, Falcons.
Throwing is Penix. That's caught left side by Pitts. And he's going to be taken down as time runs out on this first half of play.
Okay, Mike, thanks very much. We enjoyed it so much last week, the EA folks said, hey, come back, let's do it again. So here we are, week 2. Let's get after it. Our trip around the league starts now in the Motor City. The Lions at home to take on their NFC North rivals, the Bears. And we know the Detroit offense can score. How about the defense getting it done? We'll give you a look now at the remainder of the games in progress in the early window and what's still to come here in Week 2 of the National Football League regular season. Meanwhile, in our game, neither offense has been able to distinguish themselves. It's been the defenses that have stood tall so far. As we get you back out to the second half and rejoin Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
All right, Scott, thank you. This one's still anyone's game. We'll see. Third quarter set to commence. And we're back underway here on EA Sports. Ray McLeod on the return. And he is stopped at 25. The drive will begin there. The Falcons offense going to have a first crack at it as we begin this third quarter. Now, Greg, as we get the season going, obviously the adjustment to last year's new kickoff rules in place. We talked to a lot of coaches during the year. Folks didn't seem too bothered about letting the other team have the ball at the 30-yard line after a touchback. But the 35-yard line, I don't know, does that feel any different to you?
You know, it does, and I think the part that people don't talk about enough, Mike, is the impact that it's making on going forward on 4th down, not settling for field goals. Because remember, in the old days, if you got stopped inside the 5 or you scored inside the 5, it was all the difference of if I kicked a touchback, they got the ball at the 20. There wasn't that much of a spread. But now, all of a sudden, is it in my best interest to settle for a field goal and kick off when I could give you the ball at the 35? Or even if I fail down there tight in the red zone on the 3, you now possess the ball.
The pressure gets there, and down he goes back inside the 20-yard line. Javon Hargrave. He's in to drop him for a sack, and that will bring up 4th down. The Falcons send their punting unit out. As this drive went backwards, he's on to kick it away. And he'll be brought down. Short return, and they'll take over there. The Vikings offense trotting back out for their first involvement of this second half. The lead is 5 as they're going to start with this first down. That's into the hands of Moore. And they're going to work this down inside the 45.
A gain of 12 yards. That's good.
Running left, it's Jones. And he is stopped in his tracks. Loss of a couple on the play. Here's a 2nd and 12.
Brought down back at the 43-yard line.
To throw, it's McCarthy. That's going to be incomplete. Coverage very good there. Contact jarring the ball loose. And it's going to force 3rd down.
3rd down and 12 yards to go.
And that is incomplete. The intended receiver was Justin Jefferson. And now it's fourth down.
Every so often, Mike, you can see these offenses, and it looks like the passing game gets a little bit too predictable. And as the defense continues to flood the back end of these zones with extra defenders, they're continuing to force this quarterback to not only make some difficult throws, but to put the ball in harm's way.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now. They get set to take over once more. But deficit is 5, so they'll try to put a drive together here, and they'll begin it with 1st and 10. Here's a designed run. And that play going nowhere. The defense all over that one. They'll bring them down for a big loss.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on 1st down, but that's exactly the case here.
The 10-yard line.
Third and a long way to go. From the gun on 3rd down. Here's Penix. And they will continue to go backwards. He's taken down for a sack. So it's 4th down. They'll call on the punt team, as he'll be standing just inside the back line of the end zone. And he'll get forward a few yards on the return. And that's where the offense will take over. Out comes the Minnesota offensive unit as they get set to take over. They'll start with great field position right at midfield with a 1st down. On the ground now with Jones. He is met and dropped. A couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage, too.
I can promise you that is not how they wanted to start this drive, Mike. I mean, to get blown up at the point of attack, there was just nowhere for the back to go on that run.
After the loss of 3, it is 2nd and 13. From the shotgun, it's a throw from McCarthy. To the left side here, caught by Addison. Well, he's brought down. That pass is going to pick up 4 and bring up 3rd down.
That's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and
McCarthy from the gun here on 3rd down. Get this complete. It's Addison again. And he will not quite get to the marker. Good job there defensively. And now, decision time. What are you going to do on 4th down? It'll be a punt coming up for the Vikings, as they'll say no to the long field goal and hope to pin them deep. The Falcons offense ready to get back to work. They'll try to establish some tempo as they start this one with 1st and 10. From the gun, here is Penix. And he does a nice job to avoid the initial wave. They're going to get him down behind the line.
So many of these possessions start with negative plays on 1st down, and you're just going to hear every offensive coordinator stress. It is so important we don't fall behind the sticks, but when you just can't pass protect and give your quarterback time, this is going to continue to happen.
Pitts is the man in motion. Now Penix to throw on 2nd down. That's to Pitts, the tight end. And he gets him 6 yards closer before going out of bounds. And it's 3rd down coming up. From the gun, it's Penix. And this offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack.
Mike, this isn't real complicated. You're just not going to win a lot of NFL games when you continue to give up sacks at the rate that they are. I mean, this is just a complete disaster for this offensive line, and if they don't get it fixed, this game could be a runaway.
And now the punting unit will come on. This will be returned from the other side of midfield. And some nifty running on the return. Picked up some good yardage before he was taken down. The Vikings offense getting those helmets back on, ready to head out for their next possession. They'll do so with 1st and 10. This is Jones. And he's going to be stuck well behind the line of scrimmage. A play going absolutely nowhere. So after the loss on 1st, here's 2nd and 14. Now McCarthy. Here comes the screen to Jones. They'll get maybe 3 out of that one, and it's going to set up 3rd down.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 9.
From the gun, here's McCarthy. This one down the field, but lined up incomplete. It'll be a punt coming from the Vikings.
Ryan Wright in punt formation for the Vikings.
This one angles out of bounds, and the mark comes inside the 15-yard line. The Falcons offense makes their way back out to the field for their next possession. They'll begin inside their own 15-yard line, so a lot of real estate to cover. It's 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Penix. The throw on the run is complete. And they're going to get him down right at the 25. It's a 3 tight end look as they have it 1st and 10.
First down.
And here's Bijan. And he finds a little bit of space. He'll take this forward for a gain of 4. Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Here's Penix. Rolling to the left. He's going to keep it himself. And he wisely hit the deck at the end of that one. No unnecessary shot there. It is a 1st down.
First down, Atlanta.
On the give, it's Robinson. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line. Nice chunk here in this good-looking drive. Pick up of 14 and a 1st down.
First down, Falcons.
And here comes Robinson on a toss to the right. This time the sledding becomes a little more difficult. They're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. They'll try again here. 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10. At the 38-yard line.
Pitts is the man in motion. So, points at a premium. Defensive battle so far as we are through 3. And Sunday Night Primetime continues after this. On play action, Penix. Very quick throw there, but not on the same page with his target. That's incomplete.
Coverage by Byron Murphy.
Now Penix. And he's going to go down yet again. He has been under fire all game long. Byron Murphy, that Pro Bowl corner, able to work his way in there for a sack.
You know, we can sit up here all day long and critique the quarterback, and you can see his eyes aren't downfield. He's a little jittery in the pocket. But with the amount he's been sacked and hit today, Mike, I can't say I really blame him.
That one going to land a little too close to the goal line. Doesn't stop into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Vikings offense ready to see what they can do. They'll start out 1st down and 10. The drive begins with a carry by Jones. Had to push through that one tackler, but he is wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage.
On the tackle. No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10.
They'll go play action here with McCarthy. And he's going to be marked down up around the 33. Here's 1st and 10.
12 yards. And the Vikings
The play fake. It's McCarthy. Open man downfield. It's Hawkinson. And he is out of bounds all the way down at the 30-yard line.
37. That's another Vikings first down.
They'll fake the give, and now it's McCarthy. After the catch, he gets that forward for a gain of 9.
I'm not sure how many guys grow up wanting to be an NFL fullback, Mike. They don't get the ball a ton. They're used to do all the dirty work. But in this case, this guy's showing off. Hey, coach, you got the ball in my hands. I can do some things.
He runs straight ahead with Jones. And I don't think he got there. Wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, and now you're looking at third down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd and 1.
They'll go with the sneak. Trying to find any seat he can, but the push too strong in the middle. He didn't get there. It's 4th down.
I think the decision of whether or not you kick the field goal or keep your offense on the field, Mike, comes down to, do you have a play on your call sheet you love? Do you have a critical down, 4th down play that you know is going to work? Because if you do, now's the time to be aggressive and extend this drive. And this is what you want. I mean, you clearly have the advantage, but you want to continue to apply pressure. Can you score every time you get the ball? They're able to do that here. They tack on 3 and extend their lead.
McLeod now to return. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Falcons offense starting to trot out for this next possession. They'll see if they can put something together here, beginning with 1st and 10. Here's Penix. Open man, he's got it. It's London. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on 1st down.
6-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 4.
Now Robinson. And this will be a Falcons first down as he gets this up to the 40-yard line.
He's tackled at the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 6. And the Falcon first down.
Another run here for Robinson. A modest gain. Maybe 2 yards. It's 2nd down.
And they've really done a nice job defensively holding them in check. I mean, ideally, you'd want your back to average around 4 yards a pop, but they're falling short of that threshold as of now. And partially, it's why they find themselves trailing at this stage of the game.
On 3rd down, Penix. This offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack.
I think the defense came in confident that they'd be able to get after the quarterback, right, Mike? When we met with them this week, they felt like they had a really good plan, some exotic looks, some different pressure packages, and it's worked to perfection. I'm not sure they thought they'd be 1 sack away for breaking the NFL record for the most sacks in a single game, but here we are.
And that's a nice job of getting to him, making sure that return was not going anywhere. The Vikings offense and J.J. McCarthy getting set for their next possession. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been successful. He just processes things so quickly, making the right read seemingly every time. It is 2nd and 9.
A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9.
They run it once more with Jones. And it'll be a pickup of 3. So 3rd down, forthcoming.
That's a gain of 3. Now 3rd and 5.
Working out of the shotgun, it is McCarthy. Down the field, but it falls incomplete.
When you get the ball in this situation, what you're looking to do is not only end the drive with a touchdown to put the game away, but you'd love to chew up some clock. So with that incomplete pass now likely putting an end to this series, that's a big opportunity for them to try to close this game out.
This kick hangs up, and a fair catch will be taken beyond the 35-yard line. The Falcons offense ready to take over once again. The drive will begin here with a run by Robinson. And he's down on the other side of midfield. Mark him at the 48-yard line. About 15 yards to kick off the drive. It's a first down.
15. First down, Atlanta.
Now, this looks like a design run, and he'll force his way forward, maybe a yard. Second down coming up.
A gain of a yard brings up second down at the 46-yard line.
Play action. It's Penix. That'll be caught by the running back, Robinson. And he's going to get out of bounds with the first down. Double as good there. They get the first down and save a timeout. On the carry, this is Tyler Algier. And he takes it down to the 15-yard line. That's a gain of 11. And they'll move the chains with another first down.
And the Falcons, first down.
On the handoff, it's Robinson. And they'll get him down inside the 5-yard line. It's first and goal coming up.
4-yard line. First and goal at the 4-yard line.
Throwing is Penix. Pushed out to his right, and he will take this one across into the end zone. Michael Penix. Touchdown, Atlanta. Greg, how often do we say it's a one-possession game, but that's a two-part story? Part one taken care of right there with the touchdown.
All right, Mike, so they go down and they get the all-important touchdown. But only half the time is this truly a one-score game. They need this two-point conversion here to tie it up.
The Falcons will line up for the two-point
Pitts
conversion.
is the man in motion. They'll throw. It's Penix. Oh, yeah. And he will get into the end zone for two, and this game is tied. All even. Fourth quarter, everything we've wanted. What's in store in the remaining time? This one crushed. It's over the back line of the end zone. Touchback, and the ball's coming out to the 35. They'll come up for first and 10. Here's McCarthy. Oh, no chance there. Under a heavy rush, he goes down.
This guy's like a man amongst boys right now out here, Mike, and you just don't see these sort of dominant performances on the NFL level very often. I mean, whether they got to double team him or keep sliding the protection to him, I don't care what they got to do. Someone has to block this guy because he's completely destroying the entire game.
Now, on second and long. They'll drop the throw. I had a defender draped all over him. Incomplete. Good work to body him up and set up a third down.
And 17.
Looking to throw. McCarthy. That's caught left side by Hawkinson. Whistles here and a timeout. Defense going to take this one with 1:51 to go.
It's fourth down.
On fourth down, out comes the punter. Important punt here in this tie game late. Here comes the Atlanta offense now. They get set to take over once more. They'll start in outstanding field position, looking for a way to break our tie. Here's first down. Robinson. He'll work his way ahead for a gain of about 4.
In order to be successful as a run-heavy offense, Mike, it's so important that you remain really efficient on first and second down. The last thing you want is to be in third and pass, and it really throws off what...
And he will get into the end zone. Kyle Pitts, touchdown Falcons. That his first touchdown of the new year. Greg, they take advantage of the good field position and move it downfield for the score.
When you take the field as an offense, there's a little added confidence boost, Mike, when you see yourself this close to the end zone. You get into the huddle, you're anxious to see what the next couple plays are. They're able to take advantage and end up punching it in.
Younghoe Koo now for the extra point. The kick is good. And the Falcons will go up by 7.
Falcons 20, Vikings 13.
So the lead is 7 now. Here in this fourth quarter, the tie has been broken. Let's see what happens on this kickoff. Isaiah Rodgers now to return it. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. Out comes the Minnesota offensive unit as they get set to take over. This is 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's a throw from McCarthy. Oh, the pressure too much. He goes down.
A 9-yard loss on the play brings up 2nd down at the 19-yard line.
On 2nd down, here's McCarthy. Oh, he can't get rid of it, and he's taken down. Gonna need a big play now. 3rd down and long.
On the play brings up 3rd down.
McCarthy from the gun here on 3rd down. That is incomplete. Here we go. They're down to what could be their final play. It's 4th down. They'll go. Here's McCarthy. Going up top. That is brought in. And he's going to get out of bounds with the 1st down. Double as good there. They get the 1st down and save a timeout. And good blocking up front, paving the way for a gain of 8 on the ground.
An 8-yard gain brings up 2nd down.
That is caught out wide on the RPO. And he'll be brought down after a short pickup, but that is enough for a 1st down.
And the Vikings 1st down.
Setting up to throw is McCarthy. He'll get this over the middle to Jefferson. And he's close to another 1st down. He's brought down just shy of the marker.
Brings up 2nd and inches.
McCarthy to the air on 2nd down. He'll step up and run this. Now find a chance to stop it here. Timeout coming with 10 seconds remaining in the game.
That's another Vikings.
On 1st and 10, it's McCarthy. And that could be the dagger. It's intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The drive begins at the 20. Here's 1st and 10. Victory formation, defense powerless to stop. And that should just about do it. So it's a win for the visiting Falcons. They get the victory here, away from home, to run their early season record to 2-0. And that'll do it for my partner, Greg Olson. For our entire team, I'm Mike Tirico. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Minneapolis.